Look, there's an F40. There's an F40. Look at that. Whoa. Ta-da.
What?
We have a remote control car. Kia. This is not something 10 years ago that I would have expected at a Kia. If you told me in 10 years Kia would have a nearly 600 horsepower performance crossover, I would not have believed you. Out in Southern California, Los Angeles, just picked the car up and it's a beautiful day. And of course, we gotta go find some canyon roads to see what this performance electric crossover is like. So heading over to, we'll try Latigo Canyon. I like that one from what I remember. Back on PCH. We're spending some time living with the Kia EV6 GT. So I've driven the regular EV6, the GT line, the all-wheel drive one, but this is the GT. And what makes the GT special and interesting? Well, it is the most powerful, fastest Kia ever made. 576 horsepower for the EV6 GT. So this shall be interesting to see what it's like to live with a Kia EV6 GT. I'm in eco mode right now, trying to conserve some range. We're stuck in traffic, so it's showing 238 miles, 96%. When I picked up fully charged 100%, it showed 245 miles, which I think might be optimistic because the EPA rating, I believe, is 206. Range is gonna be a point we're gonna be talking about, seeing what it's like. I will definitely have to charge this up because I've got quite a lot of driving planned. Man, these views are just absolutely amazing. Beautiful weather today, still the morning. Wow. You can press this button here and turn on auto hold. I'm just sitting in traffic, so parking sensors are going off. Ooh, look at the 360 cam thing, where it renders it. That's pretty nifty. Yeah, I'm not going. Okay, all right. These parking sensors are being weirdly sensitive when I'm just sitting in traffic. I'm not trying to park. Calm down, Kia. So in eco mode for the last 22 miles, I've been averaging 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour just cruising down PCH. And with that math and the 77.4 kilowatt hour battery pack, that'll work out to be almost 300 miles of range, like 290, 294, which is way optimistic because when I get into canyons and go in the GT mode, it will drop a lot. So do I have some range anxiety? Definitely a little bit. Where I'm staying is 80 miles outside of LA. So there and back is 160 miles. And then in the canyons, I'm definitely gonna consume a lot of range by driving a little more exuberantly because I want to see what the GT is like. It'll be fine. I'll find a charger. This has fast charging capability, but I haven't had a charging experience in California before. I haven't done a ton of EV charging because in the past, the office that I worked at, we had a free charger, so I just get to work and plug it in, and I wasn't driving that far. So you're about to come along with Eddie and have him discover how frustrating EV charging may or may not be. Fingers crossed, optimistic, it'll go fantastically. It'll be a fast charger to work, and I'll get all the range back in like 10 minutes, hopefully. Alrighty, Canyon Road. We gotta go in the GT mode. Whoa, that was an immediate change in the position of the accelerator. The emergence of EVs has made the horsepower competition almost a little bit irrelevant because these days with an electric crossover, SUV, pickup truck, you can make horsepower numbers that you used to need like a big supercharged V8 in order to achieve. This is an example of that. This EV6 GT, an electric crossover from Kia, makes 576 horsepower and 545 pound-feet of torque. Kia says 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, but it has been tested at 60 in as quick as 3.2 seconds. All-wheel drive, quarter mile in the mid-11s, up to a top speed of 161 miles an hour. The regular non-GT version of the EV6 had 320 horsepower and 446 pound-feet of torque in the highest output version, so this is a quite substantial increase. The one thing, though, is they kept the 77.4 kilowatt hour battery pack, and because it makes so much more power, the range is not fantastic. 206 miles is the EPA estimate, and that's typically under like ideal situation, right? You're driving responsibly, blah, blah, blah. So when you're up in the canyons like I am, about to use all of that 576 horsepower, I expect to get a lot less than 206 miles of range. So we'll see what that is like. With that, let's grab the camera and get up close. I'll show you some of the exterior details on the EV6 GT, and then we're gonna go take it for a drive. the sun decided to come out, making that red paint look quite nice. So the EV6 GT, I've always loved the way the EV6 and the platform sibling Hyundai Ioniq 5 looked. I just think they look like little spaceships, right? They're so unique for their segment, pretty aggressive, and just a new take on styling, different from everything else in the segment. For the GT, we have some different touches. The front fascia is unique, a bit more aggressive, making it look really wide and low. Overall, the EV6, I thought was more like a wagon, like a hatchback type of thing, right? When I first saw it come out, just seeing photos, not seeing it in person, I thought it was like a Volkswagen Golf GTI kind of thing. But no, it's a full-out crossover, so it's decent size. These are 21-inch wheels for the GT. Those definitely probably have some amount of detriment to the range because bigger wheels, more rolling, everything. But for the sake of styling, they definitely look pretty nice with the lime green calipers. So lime green is the accent color for the GT version. On like a dark gray car or black or something else, it looks pretty cool. But on a red car, it kind of reminds me of Christmas. So I don't think you can do any accent color that's not green. You can see it on the inside too. So if you don't order in red, it looks pretty badass. But on a red car, I think it looks kind of funny. We've got the new Kia logo up front, coming around to the side. You can even see the side view mirror has all this extra sculpting too. That's all aggressive. It doesn't cut in on the side there. The door handles are usually flush when it's locked and driving, but they pop out for you to open up. And then see like more aero back here. There's like a rear wing of sorts with these two channels to shove air down the sloping rear end here to this little lip. Got the full light bar that goes across the back and this crazy cool triangular kind of shiny pattern there. EV6 badge, Kia GT, the GT version. There's a charging door here on the passenger side. You can see from here, it is a very swoopy looking crossover. But again, it does look like a slightly taller wagon sort. Let's pop the trunk and take a look back here. There's a button there. Opens up. Oh, yeah. I heard this like sliding around when I was going through some of the corners a little more exuberantly. I'll hide those away. This, I think, is a charger. And then underneath here... Oh. Is there storage? No. Okay, no. That is not... Okay, all right. Not much storage back here underneath the load floor. Don't think so. Let's hear. Oh my, okay. I am just like opening random things. All right, so this is the trunk. That's the storage you get. Let me show you the front trunk. Or I guess the pretend semblance of a front trunk. Go down here, we can pop the hood. Usually with EV platforms, one of the cool things, you can do a front trunk, right? And you can have all the storage up front. But unfortunately, the EV6... you get that. So not a plus in terms of front trunk practicality. There's a bunch of stuff here. We got a regular battery there. Sometimes you can see high voltage cabling. Yeah, you can see some orange high voltage cabling back there. So EV6 does not have a particularly large front trunk. I don't really know what I put under there. Probably tools, if I needed tools for things. I don't know. Quick glimpse at the interior. We have the dual curved screens there, the infotainment touchscreen, digital screen here on the left, and you see more of those lime green accents. We have the GT button, and then the seats also have a GT badge there. Lime green piping accents here. The seats are pretty comfy, and they hold you in nicely too. But, oh, they're also manual. I noticed that earlier. It's fully manual adjustable seats in a $60,000 sort of luxury performance crossover. I thought that was interesting. I wonder if it's for weight savings, but the thing is already so heavy. It's an EV, right? These things get heavy. Anyways, let's hop in and go hit the canyon roads. There are 4 different drive modes. We have Eco, Normal, Sport, and GT for the GT. In Eco, they limit the power down to 288 horsepower. In Normal and Sport, you get 460 horsepower. And you have to go all the way to GT, which is this lime green button right here on the steering wheel. That's when it unlocks the full fury of the 576 horsepower. And also many other things are changed too, from steering feel to the response of the accelerator and so forth. Eco obviously is going to yield you the best efficiency. I was cruising here in traffic on the PCH and Eco mode, and it was fine because you still get, I believe, max torque in every single drive mode. So that is still plenty healthy, just limiting the power a little bit. We have variable regen braking, just like on the regular EV6. You control that with the paddles on the steering wheel. No, this does not have a transmission, so therefore the paddles for changing your level of regen, level 1, 2, 3. I pedals like 1 pedal driving, max amount of regen. I typically don't really like 1 pedal driving, so I actually have it set to just level 1 right now. But we're on a curvy road, so how about we just go into GT mode? Alrighty. There's also a, by the way, this has a drift mode, which is pretty hilarious. That kind of, I think, shows you the personality, what they're trying to go with for this thing. It's a little bit over the top for electric crossover, sort of mainstream one, to have a drift mode. As soon as we go into GT mode, I feel the steering get heavier. It also lessens the threshold on stability control, traction control a little bit. A little more power to the rear, because I've gotten this thing to actually get a little squirrely. Woohoo! And the accelerator response is absolutely immediate. I hear my backpack is like sliding around all over the place right now. The accelerator gets you that just instant pushback that you expect in EVs. Gotta be careful on the canyon roads right now, because all the rain that LA's had, like just massive rocks in the middle. So moderate pace, but it's fun to try it out here. Pavement is decent on this stretch. It was a little rougher early on, and you can definitely feel it. It rides fairly firm. The dampers, especially in GT mode, it's much firmer riding crossover, but it's not like in a painful way. It's just well damped. They seem to have tuned it quite well. Body roll is actually remarkably well controlled for a, again, we're in an electric crossover. Bit of understeer there. These 21-inch wheels are wrapped in Goodyear tires, which actually, I was a little confused, because when I read the press release when it first came out, and I was reviewing it before getting the car, they had said it was getting Michelin PS4S, I think. So something must have changed, maybe difference between Korean market, rest of world, and what we're getting here in America. But this is on Goodyear tires. Whew. Yeah, that is like really quick. You can definitely feel the weight in size. Although in the realm of dual motor EV crossovers, I think the weight's reasonable, but compared to gasoline powered crossovers, this is gonna still be substantially heavier. Man, it really handles its mass quite well. You get a little bit of rotation too. I am surprised. I am like quite impressed. So they also made quite a few substantial changes to the suspension to help handle the extra power and performance. You can't just throw an extra 250 horsepower and just leave it be, right? So we talked about the dampers. It's got a stiffer anti-roll bar, a lot of different tuning, small changes to make the EV6 into the GT version. Even has a limited slip differential out back, helps enable that drift mode. When I saw that they are releasing it with a drift mode, I was like, has Kia gone insane in the best way possible? Like, holy crap, that sounds awesome. I will say the biggest overwhelming takeaway is how well the EV6 GT handles its mass, the size in terms of body roll and the dampers, and then obviously you get the immediacy of the power, but also the fact that GT mode tuning actually lets you slide the rear end a little bit. I don't want to get too wild. I don't know these roads that well, and over that way is like a very, very steep drop off. All right, with that, we will head back down into Malibu, probably find a charger at some point, down to 164 miles, but I'm sure that'll go up once I start driving in normal or eco mode, or just not using as much power as I want up here. Whee! Oh, it is instant, man. Wow. And then we're gonna go grab lunch. So we will catch up with you guys shortly. So we're out in the EV6 driving, and then randomly a Ferrari F40 passes us. So of course we had to pull over and check out an F40, just randomly, you know. Look at that thing. Absolutely insane. Just California things. This is a very different red car from the Kia. Wow. Wow. You know what's kind of crazy is 0 to 60 wise, that EV6 GT is probably faster than this. That's like wild to think about. That.
But you're not an F40.
Yeah, you're not. I know. Obviously, you're not going to cross shop it. But just think about the progression from a F40, a legendary car, to a modern EV crossover that makes 576 horsepower. Like, this would probably win 0 to 60. But then after that, I would obviously rather be in an F40 at every single moment. Look at all the NACA ducks along the side. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, we saw an F40 today. Back to our Kia. Look, there's an F40. This is F40. Look at that. Whoa. This might be the first time an EV6 GT has been this close to a Ferrari F40 before. So the Kia EV6 has a drift mode. Yes, this electric all-wheel drive crossover has a drift mode where it puts it into full rear-wheel drive mode. You disable stability and traction control. You have to be in GT mode, and you hold both paddles for 3 seconds, and it goes into drift mode. And can confirm it will do massive donuts. It just
like it obliterates the tires.
It just vaporizes the tires. It's insane. Like, insert clip of me doing some shenanigans. Caffeine is needed. Starbucks run in the EV6 GT. Woo! Hey, you want to try drift mode in the Starbucks drive-thru? That would be a terrible idea. My nitro cold brew is more like nitro lukewarm brew. It's not cold, but you know it's still caffeine, so that's okay. Why do you get your little sugary whatever, and then you get an extra cup of ice for what?
Life hack, because one, I like chewing on ice, but two, the ice displaces coffee. So yeah, when you ask for more ice, it's just like having actual more ice in there. Can you concentrate on your driving?
Where am I going? I can't. There's a truck there.
No, he's not.
Well, he was there. Look at the blind spot warning. It showed up.
Don't trust those. It's a computer. They glitch.
It's literally a camera, you muppet.
Eddie, you clearly don't know.
What?
You clearly don't know the lid position in a fast car.
I don't have any fast cars.
Look at. He always puts the lid back that way. So what's going to happen when you step on the gas? Boom. Like slosh back, spill everywhere. Oh God, are you actually going to go? Oh shit, he went.
Woo! That is quick. We've got a bit of traffic, so I'm trying out the Kia Highway Drive Assist. So it handles the adaptive cruise control. It's got some steering control too. I've been hands off on the steering wheel. It hasn't prompted me yet, and it's doing a pretty good job. A little bit of stop and go, but at least we're still flowing. So the EV6 and a bunch of other newer Hyundai Kia vehicles have this fun feature where you like remote park and you just press the key fob. I think I need to hold that to turn it on. And then if I press this button for forward, you have a remote control car and you can take your car for a walk. There we go. Ta-da! What? We have a remote control car. I'm gonna go backwards. So you just have the key fob there. That's why there's so many buttons on this key fob. Oops, I let go by accident. Keep going. Come on. There we go. It's for like if you have really tight parking spaces. You gotta get it in there. Theoretically, it'll stop itself. Like it won't back into a wall. Theoretically. Ah! Matt is testing out the back seat space. Pretty good.
Look at that.
And the front seat is where I would have it at 6'3". How tall are you, Matt?
5'11".
Okay, yeah, and you've got plenty of space back there, right? So for adults, totally usable. So just as we got down to 15%, 31 miles of range, we get a low EV battery warning. So we will be visiting a charging station later tonight. All right, so we are down to 13% low EV battery, saying 24 miles to empty. We've driven 175.5 miles. So actually the total range number is right around 200, which I'm actually pretty impressed because I was in the canyons for like an hour and then we tried out drift mode and we've been driving it pretty hard, balanced with eco on the freeway. We're gonna go find a fast charger later on, but since we're back here, we're gonna try, it's a level 2 charger you have plugged into the wall, right? So we're gonna use the included charging cable, which is in the trunk, and see how much range we can get back at home here before we go find a fast charger right in this bag. If I can find the zipper. All right. Charge port is back here. I think it should be power, right? Maybe? Oh, there we go. Yep. Opens up. All right, so we've encountered a slight issue. These are the only two little adapters we have, and the outlet you have here is shaped slightly differently. Charging a Kia with a Volvo charger. Is this some sort of blasphemy? Electricity is electricity, though. Please?
Charging started.
Thank you.
There you go.
Let's see. Remaining time, 20 hours and 30 minutes to get to 100%. It's delivering 3.7 kilowatts. So this will top up us a little bit, and then I'll go find a fast charger because obviously I don't feel like waiting a whole day for the charge. Go ahead, turn it off, and we're gonna go make dinner. Looks like the EV6 has been getting some charge from that wall outlet. We're currently on the second bar. Go ahead, unplug. What did we charge to? Ooh, that blue interior lighting is pretty cool. All right, that added 30 miles, not bad. Back up to 29%. But we are going to head to a Electrify America fast charger. I think they're about 350 kilowatt. This will take, I think, 240-ish. And we'll see how quickly we can replenish the battery. Behold, charging station. All right, we're going to back in because the charge port is at the back. How do I know which one is the fast one? We do have a button here on the left. Press that, and that should open the charge door. We have to remove this bottom cover here, and then go ahead and plug in. Okay, charger 4, swipe to start charge. Initiating charging. Auto reload error. Ugh. Charge error. Okay, cool, nice. Unplug. You happy? Plug in first. Yeah, okay. Plug in. Ta-da. All right. Connecting to vehicle. This may take a minute. Pretty please, I just want some electrons. All right, it's ramping up. Currently 103 kilowatts, 113. All right, okay, it started working. 21 minutes left until 80%. Let's see what the car says. Okay, so we're getting 126 kilowatts right now. Even though it says it should be at 350. 45 minutes to 100%, but only 20 minutes to 80%. It just took a big jump up to 200 kilowatts, 201 charging speed. Just ramped up. Don't know why. It just did it. So I'm not complaining, right? Faster is better. Let's see what it says on the dash. And then I'll hop inside and just wait. I'll let it charge to 80%. Don't need to go all the way to 100%. And it's also better for your battery health, apparently, if you don't always go to full. 16 minutes to get to 80%, but the car says 150. EV. And just like that, we have hit the 80% point. It just ticked over the 81%, but it'll take another 24 minutes to get to 100%. So that's longer than it took to go from whatever I showed up at, like 20-something% to 80. Just the way the batteries are, and also the speed has dropped. So ideally, I would stop now, which I think I will. Got 208 miles of indicated range to get around. I believe that's the eco mode estimate. So that is plenty. Got 48.75 kilowatt hours of energy delivered. All right, we'll call that done. We'll hit stop. Oh no, button, it's not a touchscreen. Gotta admit, that went a lot better than I expected. That was my first time trying out Electrify America. I've charged before at like private chargers. My old apartment building had EVgo chargers, but that was the first time trying to Electrify America. A couple hiccups at the very, very beginning, but that could have been user error on my part. And yeah, that was a good enough experience. I've got 200-something miles of range now. It's not so much range anxiety, it's just charging speed, charging infrastructure anxiety, right? I've driven cars that only do 200 miles on a full tank of gas. A lot of sports cars are like that. My Shelby barely would do that sometimes if I was driving hard, but you know, you just go to a gas station, they're everywhere, and it's easy. And with electric cars, if 200 miles can easily be replenished in 15-20 minutes, then you feel a lot less anxiety with that. And this amount of range, it'll be fine for tonight, tomorrow. I gotta go back into Los Angeles, but that is plenty enough to get me around. So pretty good experience. I am now off to the gym for a workout, and it's gonna be like midnight by the time I'm done. So we will pick this back up tomorrow morning. We just finished up filming an unreleased new car that I cannot disclose, and we're back in the EV6 GT. We need some food. I am starving. I have not eaten anything all day. I have a realization on the EV6 GT. This is like the ultimate sleeper, the definition of sleeper, because people see it, they just see a crossover, they see the Kia badge, they have utterly no idea that this makes 576 horsepower and has a drift mode. No clue whatsoever. They just think it's a electric crossover. Plus the design changes, right, from this to the regular GT line or just a regular EV6 are rather subtle because it's already so extreme in normal form. So yeah, the EV6 GT is like the ultimate sleeper. These seats are pretty cool. They're like bucket seats, the lime green accents, mix of suede and leather, and this metal insert here has the GT logo on it. And man, is that GT button bright on the steering wheel. So if you press the GT button once, it goes into GT mode. If you press it again, it goes into My Drive mode, which you can actually configure here in the settings. You can change out motor, steering, suspension, limited slip differential to ELSD, and stability control.
All right, so my time with the EV6 GT is coming to an end. We have about a 45-minute drive in typical LA traffic to the airport, and we're heading off to Scottsdale. Some final thoughts. Any things that I don't like? If I'm going to be really picky, the fact that it doesn't have wireless CarPlay bugs me. It's like a pet peeve. They give you a wireless phone charger, but you have to plug in for CarPlay. So you would never use the wireless phone charger because your phone is charging when it's plugged in. So you have to have a regular USB cable for CarPlay because the USB-C port there looks like it's just for charging. It has a little battery icon on it. It's also a little bit weird that this has manual adjust seats. Like the full front seats are fully manual adjust in every way. So why does it not have power seats at the price point? Trying to save weight? It's an electric car. They're already kind of heavy, so that's kind of interesting. Pros, stupid fun to drive. Like, it's giggle-inducing quick for a big crossover, right? Drift mode is ridiculous. GT mode is fun. It handles itself surprisingly well in the canyons, curvy roads, damper setup, like body roll, all of it, right? It like is an enthusiast vehicle from a driving experience standpoint. Price point, $62,000-ish as option for this EV6 GT, which I think is a pretty nice price point. The interior is cool, nice materials, design looks really cool. It's like a little spaceship. It's like yeah, so it really does check a lot of boxes. And honestly, afterwards, I kind of made a big deal out of the range and my concern with it. Now that I've lived with it for a bit, I'm not as worried, right? Had a good charging experience on the fast chargers. That was fine. And using day-to-day range in between driving it hard, fast, using drift mode, using GT mode, accelerating a bunch, launching it, and then eco mode, cruising and traffic and whatever. Overall, the range numbers still ended up in the low 200s. So from that regard, that really took away some of the concerns. So I would actually negate that as a complaint and just leave it as kind of it is a fact. That's just the way it is. It's doable. It's fine. That shouldn't be a reason that you wouldn't get this vehicle. So yeah, there we go. The EV6 GT, it definitely lived up to the expectations I had. I had an absolute blast with it. Some tires were harmed in this video. Some tires were absolutely hard, but it was worth it because it looked epic and it was a lot of fun. With that, we'll conclude this video. I am off to catch a flight. Hope you enjoyed this. Check out my other EV6 videos and Hyundai Ioniq 5 and actually watch all the videos, right? Because that's why I do this stuff. Thanks for watching.